doing, fellas?
Oh, I'm
Doing great. What's going on over here?
Oh, you had one job. One fucking job. Get the God.
Easy there. You're gonna blow out your ear.
Day.
The mic drop was supposed to be yesterday.
Oh, he's about to get a mic check.
Oh my god.
So backstory for that. I was supposed to do a full-on like gimmick intro for Kennedy with the fucking mic and all that, and
Didn't go so well.
It didn't work out. It didn't work out the way I expected it. Somebody didn't want to show up to fucking work last night.
He does what he can.
He doesn't do shit.
Relax. How are you doing, Edgar?
I'm doing great, man. We saw the greatest wrestler of all time return, which we'll talk about later. And I'm not talking about Logan Paul.
Oh, thank God. Small favors. So,
I guess just like everybody else, you got 3 minutes for him too? He's over there just cheesing like a motherfucker.
I don't even know what that means. 3 minutes for who? For Logan Paul?
Oh, God. Let's talk fucking wrestling news, shall we? We'll get to the 3-minute thing later.
All right, fine.
All right, so what do we got up first, Edgar?
All right, you guys. Jon Moxley and AEW are being sued by a former employee, not of AEW. He was a contracted employee. This was from an incident that took place back in 2023. We're talking a couple years ago. This was during the match between Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. It was a cage match where Jon Moxley went to grab the screwdriver and in the process grabbed an employee and threw him to the ground. Now, the name of this employee he's claiming a lot of stuff in this lawsuit. His name is Christopher Dispenza, and he worked for AEW since 2019 to 2024. But since 2024, he's been claiming that the company that he works for, which is Broadcast Service Group, demoted him to carpenter without no explanation, no nothing.
Carpenter.
So yeah. That's what the lawsuit stated.
Well, listen, some of these outlaw rings use carpet.
And so he's claiming a lot of stuff here. He's claiming damages in he said he's had neck injuries, shoulder injuries where he's required cervical fusion surgeries, and other treatments as well. So he's asking for over 25,000 in damages in this lawsuit alone.
Wait a minute, hold up.
Pause.
25,000?
Rewind.
Yes.
25,000, and he claims to have had neck fusion surgery. That's a lifelong illness. You'd be suing for hundreds of thousands of dollars
Or millions. Here's my thing. I saw the footage. At best, the wind caught his fucking feet. It wasn't like a malicious, I'm going to fucking throw you into the barricade and like just curb stomp your head in.
Right.
Like he did a fucking 3/4 roll essentially. There's no fucking way that Moxley did that much fucking damage in order for this man to have this much fucking medical treatment.
I agree.
I want to see some fucking medical reports. I want to see some fucking interviews with the fucking surgeons and shit. I want to see everything you would need for this to be fucking legitimate. Otherwise, I'm calling fucking horse shit. And I think that $25,000 is just like a fucking, I need money right now thing.
Yeah, that sounds like a, let's not look into this too deeply and just pay him to get rid of him kind of a lawsuit. That makes no sense whatsoever to require something that's going to limit your mobility for the rest of your life and only sue for $25,000.
Right.
Like he's either got the dumbest lawyer in the history of this, or he's just completely bullshitting.
Yeah, the lawsuit said over 25,000. So I think if they're like, okay, we'll take 25,000 at least, but still, that doesn't seem like a whole
Oh, that
lot.
might have been the jurisdiction thing.
Still though,
Kozak, none of us are scared to say it, dog.
no, fuck no, no. If you've learned nothing, I have no issue saying what needs to be said.
Yeah.
Now,
Hey,
I have a
Theodore,
question for you
welcome.
guys.
What's that?
I have a question for you guys about this. So,
Yep.
why 2 years later? Why wait 2 years after to, make this lawsuit?
Well, you're more on the legal side of things, so you can probably give a more legitimate
Well,
answer.
I mean, this would have a 4-year statute of limitations, so it's not unusual for it to take a while. But I mean, let's just pretend that it could possibly be legit. All right,
I can't.
it would take at least, and you probably realize this, it would take at least that long to get through all the diagnoses and get to the fusion surgery. And
But I skipped through the fusion. Like I just went through physical therapy and was out in 18 months.
that's still close to 2 years. I mean, and that's not even with the surgery
But
to
still.
recover from.
There's got to be some sort of clause or some shit that the ring crews have had to fucking sign for their fucking deals, as far as their employment, to where
Hold on a second.
you may have.
Theodore, this is the only wrestling podcast channel. The only. You're in the right place.
You sound somewhat like fucking Ron Swanson when you do shit like that. It's fucking amazing.
Some of us have natural talent. Move on.
Anyway, where was I?
You're talking about coming back after 18 months.
I was going somewhere else with it. I lost it.
It just seems.
Oh, I remember.
Okay.
With the ring crews and shit, there's got to be some sort of clause in their paperwork or employment files or something like that, where you may or may not be bumped and be touched. Like that's just. I mean, I know it's in WWE fucking ring crew shit. I guarantee it's in fucking AEW things.
Absolutely.
Now, whether and he brought up a year that kind of sparked my ears, 2019, when AEW started. Maybe that clause wasn't put in 2019. Maybe it was put in later on when people revised the fucking paperwork and shit. Maybe.
Theodore, welcome to the heel faction. Thank you, sir.
But I still refuse to believe in it. Like I said, I've watched this fucking bump
Yeah, no, I saw
quite a
it
few times.
earlier,
And
too.
at best, I've seen a fucking toddler do a quarter roll that looked more devastating than this fucking push.
Oh no, I can completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. It just
But I
seemed,
wanted to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I might need to take a look at the lawsuit and like do a deep dive in it, like we did the Vince McMahon lawsuit.
Oh yes.
Um,
Well, actually, we need an update on that because old
Yeah.
Johnny boy is starting to sing.
Yeah, there's a
about
lot
Vince.
of there's a lot of interesting things in the lawsuit that write everything down, but there was like interactions that he went to Dr. Sampson from AEW to seek like treatment that were giving him the runaround. And they said that since he's not a AEW employee, he has to like go through some other system or medical treatment or whatever. So there's a lot of details in this lawsuit. Very interesting stuff.
yeah.
Um,
Here, hold on 1 second. You lost. I saw you lost your camera. Let me fix that real quick. All right, cool.
Yep. Apologies, it is storming outside.
Yeah, we've got a horrible storm going on outside, so if the transmission is funky, then blame God. um, but yeah, no, I'll plan on doing that. Let's do a deep dive into that lawsuit. Maybe next, unless there's some crazy big news that happens this week, maybe next week I can pick apart the lawsuit and we can go through it more in depthly.
Hell yeah, I'm good with that.
Because that was a ton of people tuned into that Vince McMahon lawsuit breakdown, and
Dude, I still can't
it's
fucking
it was eye opening, fucking crazy.
gut wrenching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
bet.
So, all right. Anything else on this?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I guess
Oh,
my next
please.
question
Yeah, go ahead.
so Jon Moxley is also part of this lawsuit. Obviously, he's the one that um caused this, and they were saying that Moxley has a history of having disciplinary issues in AEW, where he just does shit like this. And then AEW was asked to comment on it, and they were like, "Well, we have no record of this. Like, as far as we know, Jon Moxley's known as like a locker room leader." So they're like denying these claims in the lawsuit. They're saying that Jon Moxley is known to do stuff like this within the company in the past. I guess my question is, what are your guys' thoughts on Jon Moxley deciding to just do this
Well,
in the heat of the moment?
both can be true, right? Like he's certainly a locker room leader.
Mm-hmm.
There's not even a question. The company, the other workers, everyone has said how he's morphed into that role of locker room leader. I guess I have seen him. Now, this may be the first and only time that he's ever done it without warning somebody, if this is true.
Mm-hmm.
But I have seen him kind of manhandle crew people before, like during matches, like getting out of the ring and like doing that kind of shit. Now, it all could have been, gimmicked. It all could have been, work. So, but yeah, I have seen him do stuff like this with non-wrestling personnel.
Mm-hmm.
My, I just I don't, because he's the, I guess, the third highest paid wrestler on the planet right now. He's
Mm-hmm.
the face of AEW. I don't see him, and he was at the time. He was still making more than everybody else. I don't see him just doing that without it being a shoot. I mean, without it being a work. Like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's
Well, go back and watch the push, dude. You can clearly see he was bracing himself for the fucking fall anyway.
yeah.
I mean, call it what it is. As far as Shelly goes, as far as not being properly trained, if being trained by Les Thatcher means you're not properly trained, who's properly trained then?
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest fucking professional wrestlers of all time. To her second one of may have been trying to grab the screwdriver from him, but wasn't supposed to shove him. I find that hard to believe just because, like I said before, my first comment with your post, when he went for the initial shove, you can see that the guy was already getting ready for the quarter roll. He was already getting ready to be thrown. So this might be one of the things of, oh, well, he shoved me a little bit harder than I wanted him to.
Yeah, it could very well be the sense that he was in on it. It was a work, like a complete work, and maybe he tweaked himself and now he's suing.
There's no
You
way he
know.
fucked his neck up like that to that fucking degree.
I can't see it either from that.
Yeah, like how
What
old
up,
is this
Donald?
guy? Like 60 or something? Like
I don't know, but
to
we'll
get
find out by next week. I promise you.
Yeah.
yeah, because if he was like much older, then yeah, maybe I might understand, but I saw that video too. That video did not look like this dude would need shoulder, neck, and fucking cervical fusion and surgery and all this shit that he's claiming.
Dude, it looks like a complete fucking work. It looks like part of the fucking show.
Yeah.
And the more and more I think about it, the more and more I think that it probably was, and he just wasn't expecting to. Even if it, it couldn't have done that much damage, but maybe it jarred him a little bit, and he wasn't expecting things to actually hurt. I don't fucking know. It just, I don't think it's a. I don't know.
It'll get
Do
thrown
you
out.
think?
In
Do
my
you
in
think
my
this
opinion.
will? Do you think this will affect the All In main event? I mean, the timing of this is pretty
No, it's a civil
No,
pretty
suit. It's
ironic.
not going to affect anything.
no. I mean, when Cash Wheeler was going through his shit with the gun branding thing, like he was still on TV
Yeah,
as much as he was already booked previous to it.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't see this little shove being an issue.
Carmen,
You might see a thing of Moxley not touching personnel as much until this blows over.
maybe. But
But
yeah,
yeah, you're still going to see Mox on there every week. I mean, he's the world champion right now, correct?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So why wouldn't you have your key guy on fucking
yeah,
TV?
no, he's not going to see any punishment from AEW, I guarantee you. And nor should he. I mean, it's a civil suit. It's not something you can be criminally liable for.
Yeah,
Who
and
gives a fuck?
this ain't the first time AEW or a talent's been fucking sued. I mean, let's go back to Dolph Ziggler's brother suing AEW and CM Punk and a couple of other fucking people. And once that came out, nothing came of it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
this was 2 years after CM Punk got fired.
Carmen, we're talking about AEW and Jon Moxley being sued by a crew person for getting shoved to the ground by Moxley.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess this is just like a little teaser for when you guys actually go through this thing, because there's a lot of good stuff in here that you guys should really look into more.
Yeah, yeah. Next week we'll spend like the majority of the show here going through it. We can all talk about it, and if there are some other major stories, we can just throw them on the end.
Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
You got any more questions?
No, I think I'll save it for next week.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, let's throw it to our first ad break, and we will be right back.